Coming to you live from our studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is the A1 Trading Daily Show. Whether markets are rising or falling, we're here to keep you up to date with the latest market news. Join us as we trade currencies, commodities, and indices live, Monday through Friday.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. Give me just a moment. I'm setting up my my chat so I can see all you guys' wonderful comments and messages and stuff. Make sure I get all that sorted out. There we go. How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining back on another live stream. Today, we've got a good one for you. We're going to be taking a look at some of the upcoming news related specifically to the Canadian dollar. And I want to pull that up before we get too far into the stream. This is what we're here for today, why I'm online a little bit earlier today. We are looking at CAD GDP, which comes out 8:30 today. And it's going to be an interesting one. Of course, the GDP numbers of an economy is always an important factor. If you think about it, it's one of the most important things, considering the fact that GDP basically tells you it tells you the output of an economy, right? Is an economy strong? Is it growing? Is it shrinking? Contracting, right? All of these things, of course, important to pay attention to if you're going to be trading the currency market. And I put a tweet out on my Twitter yesterday, just kind of talking a little bit about how fundamentals, I think, are so undervalued by retail traders. Institutional traders use them like crazy, right? Hedge funds, big players, banks, they focus heavily on fundamentals, whereas retail traders focus very heavily on the technicals. And while I think both are useful, I think that of the two, definitely more fundamentals are more underestimated in my opinion. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be looking at the Canadian dollar here going into the news. And like I said, we have GDP numbers coming out in just about 10 minutes here. And GDP numbers are expected or forecasted to come out at 0%. If there is any beat or miss on this, expect some volatility on the Canadian dollar. And we'll be taking a look at that together here. So real quick, again, just a reminder for people who are just joining in, it's the change in the inflation adjusted value of all goods and services produced by the economy, specifically in Canada. Released monthly, about 60 days after the month ends. It's the broadest measure of economic activity and the primary gauge of the economy's health. So there we are. That's what we're here for. Hello, everybody in the chat. I see a bunch of you guys in there. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thanks for being there. So let's look at some CAD pairs. So if I'm looking specifically at the big one, right, dollar CAD, this one's in an uptrend. And I think that overall, we'll be interested to see if there's some sort of change in the wind here today, but predominantly looking to be bullish on dollar CAD here. And looking at this chart, if I mark this up in green, what you can see here is that you've got this upward trajectory. I'm not, saying trend lines are the holy grail or anything like that, but just understanding the simple higher low concept that we've got here shows us that overall the dollar CAD looks pretty healthy. And when we go into this GDP number, of course, if GDP comes out as higher than expected, what is that going to do to CAD? Well, it's going to be positive for the currency. Right, so there's a one-to-one or a positive correlation. If GDP is less than expected, it's going to hurt the CAD, right? We're talking about the strength of an economy, which of course plays into the value of its currency. And so when we're looking at dollar CAD, if GDP numbers come out strong, if you think GDP numbers are going to come out strong for Canada, the dollar CAD could see a little bit more of a rollover here today, right? More of a pullback going into this. And we'll see if that comes out. Now, vice versa, this could explode higher if GDP numbers come out lower than expected. And I don't claim to know what the news is going to do before it happens. News is just, numbers coming out. So I'm going to position myself. And in one case, I really like dollar CAD on the long side. So if the Canadian dollar gets strong here and actually pushes dollar CAD lower, right, there may be an opportunity to get long looking for continuation moves off of these levels. The levels I have marked in green from a price action standpoint. Let's full screen this so we can see it a little bit better. From a price action standpoint, these levels in green mark areas where we had consolidation and price really was able to take off from. And you can actually see price came all the way down, retested this level once before, and found buyers. So if it does dip down into that area, I'd be mostly a buyer. Now, this is based on the fact that the overall trend is to the upside. If we get our indicators going, if we get our moving averages, you can see it's a clean sweep to the upside right now. And possibly on the news, you might get a spike to the downside on the dollar CAD, which could print us into an oversold status if we're looking at the RSI, or if we're just using pure market structure, looking for a retest into this zone here. So that's what I'd be interested in on dollar CAD. I'll back it up also. If we take a look at retail sentiment, pay attention to this right here. And I'm going to zoom or I'm going to highlight this area right here. So dollar CAD, the bottom one on the list here, has a 76% retail trader short interest. So retail traders looking at dollar CAD, they're shorting the dollar, buying the Canadian dollar. So it's a little bit of a red flag there. And let's also take a look at smart money to see what's going on with the big players here. What are the big players doing with the Canadian dollar? Well, you can see right here, it's not too hot. So dollar CAD, I'm sorry, the Canadian dollar is very short by institutional money. So big players are short the CAD and more specifically long the dollar. And so when we look at USDCAD, my bias is going to be predominantly only to the long side. So out of this news event, what am I going to do? Well, if it dips, it might be a buying opportunity. In my personal opinion, with good risk reward, that's where I'm at. So yeah, yep, I'm still in my euro dollar trade. Watching to see if that one can turn around for me. It's gone a little against me. It went initially really well for me. You can see now just back about to break even, so hasn't moved too much. Initially, that was the entry. The entry was perfect off the rip. It was like no drawdown. I was super happy with that, and then price shot back against me. But let me come back to those to the dollar crosses and such after the news. I want to pay attention to CAD pairs. Another one that might be interesting is CAD yen. And look at this, you guys. CAD yen is flying. CAD yen flying past the highs here, past resistance, now has to be marked as support. And wow, this is actually, the yen is just, I bet you the dollar yen is also doing really good. Yeah, look at that. Pain, guys, pain. I bought the dollar yen last week, and you guys know I made some money on that one, right? I bought it over here, sold it over here, but then it left the station without me. A little bit of pain there, not gonna lie. CAD yen. On a pullback, I mean, these yen crosses, they all look very bullish to me. However, I think look at that. That CAD yen is just flying here as we speak. I mean, that's a move from the lows to the highs. That's a 180 pips in just a couple days. That's really quite impressive there for the CAD yen. From a technical analysis perspective, we have a clean break through the previous high, right? Just marking our zone. So if price pulls back into that area, there could be some risk reward there that I like on the long side, though I don't think this one shows up on the edge finder as a buy. So probably not going to be the one I actually end up taking. If you're bullish on the CAD, if you're bullish on the CAD yen looks really strong. CAD Swiss, the cousin of CAD yen. Let's see how that one's doing. Not nearly as strong. You can see this one not quite. The Japanese yen really taking a nosedive. I think that actually might be more yen weakness than it is CAD strength. For the CAD Swiss bulls, if you get some sort of breakout above retest, that could be something to pay attention to. And if you're a bear, we've seen some rejection. Let's see if we can see a lower low, right? That would be kind of if you're a CAD bear. Truthfully, I don't have a strong opinion on the CAD right now. If anything, the only trade that I really love off the watch list, let me see if I can find this, would be dollar CAD longs. NZD CAD is neutral. Let's remove the neutrals from this list for a second. I think you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to default this to not include the neutrals. I think that might be more useful, but I'm not sure. Aussie CAD on the sell side. So that's an interesting one. Let's go look at Aussie CAD really quick, see if there's anything. And again, we have news coming out in just a couple minutes, guys. Let's see. Aussie CAD on the sell side hit support off the daily chart. So you can see where we're at with this one. Let's just clean up our chart a little bit. So we hit some daily support. However, the trend here to the downside looks really strong. So if I'm looking at this though, the area I'd want to sell it at would be somewhere up here, right? So this support level broke. So retest into that, that looks like a 50% retracement. So if price pulls back from the swing high to the swing low, not quite, actually more of a 61.8. I was off on that. So 61.8% retracement. So that's a ways away. Even though I like it, it's a ways away. So it's probably not anything to pull the trigger on today. Swiss yen also, I already know. Look at that Swiss yen breaking through the highs. And we'll have to come back to these. There's some other pairs I want to look at after the news, guys, that are not CAD related, but I'm trying to focus on CAD pairs just because we have uh, uh, relevant news coming out pretty soon on that note. Dollar CAD, look at that. So it's dipping here. We're pulling back. If on the news, I mentioned one case scenario where I could see potentially picking up a buy would be if dollar CAD can spike down into 135.40. And again, we are expecting 0% change in terms of GDP growth. That's the forecast at least. And we'll watch to see if that plays out. What would cause this thing to go down? Well, it'd probably be hotter than expected GDP growth in the Canadian economy, which would cause this price to come down, right? Because we're looking at USD versus CAD. So if we're saying CAD strengthens, we're saying dollar would, relatively speaking, move down. Currencies can be a little bit tricky when you're talking about economies, but it is important to pay attention to how a chart will work. So if you are bullish on the CAD, you would actually expect the dollar against the Canadian dollar to decline. Let's zoom in here, see if we get any sort of major reaction. We've got about 30 seconds out. We're going to keep dollar CAD on the screen. Maybe we'll throw one other one up there just for good measure. See if we can find CADJPY again. See if this one does anything of interest. And again, about 20 seconds here, guys, until the release. And we'll see if we get any. So again, news always going to be related to or dependent on unexpected numbers. So let's see what we get out of CAD GDP here this morning. All right, and CAD GDP numbers should be coming in here, and there it goes. Dollar CAD making a move up. CAD weakening here a little bit this morning. So perhaps something there. Getting about 10 pips, nothing serious there. Not a lot of movement on the CAD yen. So now a little bit more follow through there, 15 pips or so. Probably as expected reading just based off the reaction. Let's see if that is the case. I'm going to guess that is a 0% change, as that didn't cause too much volatility. Oh, actually it was negative, less than expected. So that is explaining a little. The up there goes. So now talking about 15 pips here to the upside for dollar CAD bulls. CAD yen now declining. There it goes. Now it's moving. A little bit of a delayed response there, but yeah, wow. So GDP in Canada coming out minus 0.1% compared to the 0% expected. And so seeing a little bit of weakness on the Canadian dollar. And again, remember, guys, we saw that big money. It's not 100% of the time correct. Don't get me wrong, but big money has been on the sell side of the Canadian dollar. We've talked about this for a while from the data that we have on the Edge Finder. If you don't have access to the Edge Finder, by the way, we do have a free version available. We just added some new features to the free version. If you don't have the free version, we're going to drop a link in the chat real quick. Click this link that's being dropped. You can fill out this form and you can access the data for free. It might be helpful to you. A lot of traders are using it. We have, it's kind of cool. I go on the website and I can see there's dozens of people sometimes just using the Edge Finder free, which is really, really cool for us to see on the developer side. So grab the free version if you don't already have it. It supports us just by you checking it out and, share it with a friend, whatever. So thank you for the support there. So grab access to the data. We just dropped that link in the chat there for you. So let's see. We had some more things we wanted to talk about. I am currently, as I mentioned, I am short Euro USD and about break even on my trade. Let me go ahead and go full screen on this Euro USD trade. This is my only trade currently as we speak. I am currently short Euro USD. I think Frank, to update the positions tracker down below, Chandler, I believe that Frank is long S&P 500. Let's go SPY. Let me go check and see if that is the case. I know I got an alert at like 7 a.m. Let's see. Yeah, so Frank picked up a long trade, S&P 500, 39.87. Yeah, he picked up a trade this morning. So Frank is long, 39.84. Yeah, Frank is long S&P 500. Just checked on that. So there you go. Frank is long dollar. He's long S&P 500. Look at that S&P 500 pulling back a little bit here. This is an intraday chart here. Let's take a look just real quick, see if there's any post news reaction on the CAD pairs. There's EURCAD pushing up, and again, this one I tried to take some sells on it, didn't quite work out very well, but not really my favorite chart there. Let's see. Can you take a look at pound USD? Sure. Let's look. Pound USD, see what's going on. Wow, look at the pound, guys. The pound rallying really strong. This one did a lot more to the upside than I was expecting. Look, all of my levels that I thought would hold did not hold. Here's the thing with trading, right? With trading, you can have all the analysis in the world. You can do all the chart markups. You can do all the fundamental analysis and still get it wrong sometimes. And the reason that I talk about that so frequently on my channel is because a lot of times people, when you're like watching them on social media, they'll act like they always get the markets right. And they'll only show you when they get the right markets right. But I try and show both because I think that it's like really misleading when you only ever see people like, they're like, oh, well, look, I bought it right here. Look how smart I am. And, so on and so forth. The point though is that profitable trading doesn't rely on you being right every time. You can be very profitable overall and be wrong very often. And the sooner you sort of like unlock that in your head and think about it that way, and you're like, oh, well, as long as I'm managing my risk, keeping my losers small, but then letting winners really work, I can be profitable. That made a huge difference for me in my trading. Keeping the losses under control when they are when they happen. So, yeah. So the thing is, I mean, in my own trading, I lose more often than I win. It's about 45 to 55%. So let me show you this. 45% of my trades are winning trades. 55% of my trades are losing trades. And so for the average new trader who like comes in and watches me trade or something like that, they'll see that and they'll be like, only 45%, that's terrible. But the point is, when I take a good trade, I let it really, really run. And that's how overall, when we've been able to produce positive results, it's all about letting the right trades run and stopping out very quickly for small losses, make them painless little losses when you're wrong. I know Frank is also, he's been really profitable on the dollar recently and looking for another dollar trade. So here's the dollar chart, DXY. 4-hour overall, looking really, really strong. You can see here, we've tagged a level of support and we're watching to see if this one can hold, if this thing can continue to rally back into the highs. That's kind of our target for the dollar. Part of the reason why I'm currently short euro against the US dollar. I'm not going to lie, guys, the one that I really wish I was in was that dollar yen trade. But hey, you know what? It happens. It really, sometimes you have a trade and you're so right about it, but the entries, the exits are the tricky part and you get whipped out. So yeah. Abdullah says he wants to join the VIP, but I don't have a credit card. Abdullah, well, you can send us a message on our support line. One of my staff members will help you out. We have several people available to chat with. If you want access to that conversational point, here's what you can do. You can go to a1trading.com. There's a live chat feature in the bottom right-hand screen. So when you're on our website, just go to a1trading.com, live chat feature. You'll be able to chat with one of my staff members right away. So there you go. Is your stop loss on Euro USD above the 61.8? Yep. So if I'm wrong about this, I still think Euro has a chance to roll over here. If I'm wrong, I'll just stop out for a loss. So here we go. So My entry yesterday initially went very, very well. So this is where I entered yesterday. Price went down beautifully. I was feeling pretty good about it. And then now market has come back to just about break even. Um, but I'm just being patient on it. I think this level has a good chance of holding this zone. And so if it does hold, then I'll look to sort of trail stops and let this thing run. But if it breaks higher, then yeah, that's going to be my cue to just go ahead and get out of there and take a loss. Can you look at gold? Sure. Let's look at gold together. XAU, USD. See if we can find anything on gold here today. And gold looks super bearish, guys. I've been hunting a sell myself on gold recently. The Edge Finder. Let me see if I can pull up gold for a second. Commodities. We're going to go to gold. Um, gold. Let's see. So seasonality, month of March is slightly positive still, but less positive than February. Institutional money goes against us. So this is why I'm not like super pressed. I'm only going to enter this trade if the technicals line up perfectly, because looking at COT data, long percentage is very high, right? So big money is pretty long gold right now. Retail sentiment, though, the crowd is also very long on gold. So that's a red flag. So if I know that the retail crowd is buying gold like crazy, that's actually a bearish signal. So then also on the fundamental side, we get a lot of things that sort of point towards bearishness for gold. You have inflation, unemployment, interest rates, and money supply. So all of those pointing towards a possible sell on gold and giving us that potential confluence there that we're looking for. So I'd be interested in gold, but I mentioned that my idea was up at the 50%. Never got there, sold off before then. So I don't really have any pending trades to take on gold, but bias is still to the downside. Nothing has changed. We are still looking for more downside overall. So yeah, Abdullah says I messaged several times, but every time reply delayed. Well, we just got in, Abdullah. If you're waiting on us to respond to you, I apologize for the delay. We are just getting into the office now. We're on the Eastern time zone. It is 8:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern. We just arrived to the office, so one of our staff members will get to you as soon as we can. Don't you even worry about it. US 30. Yeah, let's look at the Dow here. Is Dow doing anything interesting? Still really struggling. I want to be long the S&P 500. I love buying the S&P 500. I love buying indices in general. But currently, the market does not seem to agree. We have lower lows, lower highs. So for now, I'm out of this. I don't have any sell trades. I have no buy trades on the S&P 500 for short-term trades. So I really think that, for me to get long again, what we need to see is we need to see like breakouts the other direction, right? Big pushes, pullbacks, pushes, pullbacks. Once that starts to form, it would be a different conversation. But for now, the indices just look bearish. And really, where we've been interested is that dollar trade. So, like I said, I shorted euro against the USD. The pound USD, I was short biased, but this thing has broken through all levels that I had marked up. So the pound USD is off the watch list here for me. I mean, I didn't take any trades off this one because I preferred euro. And thankfully I did, because this thing has exploded. The pound has gotten very, very strong in the last 24 hours, 48 hours. So kind of just wiping the slate with pound, as this one has just kind of gone into a choppy sideways market. I was expecting this thing to trend and possibly break the lows. We did not see that. So did not work out at all. So no interest on that one. USD CHF is one I wanted to also talk about. So I liked this one long as well, waiting for a deeper pullback. So currently I've got that euro short on, but waiting to see if we can get more of a discount, more of a pullback in order for me to possibly get long dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss shows up on the Edge Finder pretty high under the watch list tab. We can see USD CHF as a possible buy. We also have USD JPY as possible buy, and USD CAD also a big one. How did that CAD news fall through? Yep, it pretty much bounced off of the lows here today. We're looking at the 4-hour chart. And again, my target for a possible buy on dollar CAD was a retest of this wick here to the downside. So if price does make its way down there, 1.3540, something like that, would be of interest to me. So DXY for long. I am Thunder. I am already in a USD long by proxy by shorting Euro USD. So yeah. There we go. Just checking the chat. I'm on the same trade as you on EU. Fingers crossed. We'll see. I mean, here's the thing, right? This is the psychology, the mentality I try and talk about often on the stream. I don't care if this trade works out or not, right? The difference, I mean, clearly I would prefer it to work out. I'd clearly prefer it to drop and continue its downtrend. That's what I would like to happen. But this particular trade is not going to make me or break me as a trader. And what I think so many new traders do is they do rely on the next trade to either make or break them. Like they're all in, right? So each trade they're trying to explode their account to a new high, and every single trade is high pressure. Whereas this trade, don't get me wrong, it is a good bit of money. I'm not saying that it's not a good bit of money. The stop loss is $1,000, but relative to the account, it's small. And overall, this trade is not going to make or break my trading month or trading year. It's one drop in the bucket of many, many trades that I'm going to take. And the sooner you sort of adopt, like, okay, I've back tested my strategy, I have a risk management plan that keeps me in the game when I have drawdowns. Once you accept the realities, the trials of trading, you're going to be way better off. So I have this trade open. If it wins, it wins. If it doesn't, no worries. We'll look for more entries, as this would probably mean the dollar weakens and I can actually find some even better entries out there. So you sort of get to a point when when you've been doing this long enough where it's like, okay, I really don't care if this trade works out, because if it doesn't, I have another trade set up that could form, and then maybe that one works out, and if that one doesn't work out, maybe the next one works out, and we keep showing up, we keep placing our trades, and that's how that that's how that works. Natural gas bites. What's going on with natural gas? Natural gas, not something I look at very often, but I'm curious because I know natural gas has been really moving. Here's the daily chart. Natural gas seemingly finding a potential bottom. You know what's another one that we don't talk about very often is the bond market, the yields. Look at this yield, man. This is what you're looking at is the U.S. Government bonds, the 2-year yield. So currently, and this has the whole market for the more veteran traders and investors. This is an anomaly going on. We have bonds absolutely crashing and now offering 4.8%, basically risk-free per year, which I know that's not a lot of money, but think about it. If you're 56 years old and you have $5 million that you've saved up your whole life, why put it in stocks? Why put it in risky assets when you could grab 4.8% for relatively basically no risk, like very, very low risk? So you think about it and you're like, what is that going to do to the S&P 500? If that's an option to investors, it's going to put pressure on the downside of the S&P. So is the S&P a buy? I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say so. I think long term you might get some fine prices, don't get me wrong, but short term there's just a lot of headwind for S&P for indices like that. So I will be paying attention when it flips. You guys will know about it. I'll talk about it on my channel like crazy, as I always do. So yeah. Wealthy Mind Motivator says, Nick's spitting money for y'all. You just need to listen. Thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. Appreciate the support. We do this every day. We're happy to be here. We're thankful to be here. You guys make this stuff possible. And I don't know that James is here to do our promotion, so I might just do it myself real quick. Chandler, if you want to help me out with that, we can do. Let's do super funded. So we're gonna just feature super funded here, and let's do our little cool transition, and we'll go. All right, cool. So little sponsored segment. You can see Superfunded took over the stream. So Superfunded is partnered up with our channel here. They are a up and coming prop firm, a sort of a sister company to 8cap, if you will. They've partnered up, and cousin companies to a degree. You guys know 8cap if you're watching the stream for a regular basis. Superfunded now has an awesome offer for A1 Trading and Trader Nick viewers. That sounded weird to say. My audience and also the A1 Trading audience. We have a super awesome offer that we partnered up with them. They're offering 10% off currently for their evaluations if you use code A1 Trading. Now, all the information for what I'm saying is down below in the description. If you're interested in trying to get funded, they do their evaluations. They're their rules are very, very loose compared to a lot of the prop firms out there, which is why we chose to partner with them. So check them out down below if you're looking for a prop firm. And now back to the show. Thanks for checking out Superfunded with me. All right, and now I pass the show back to myself. If you guys are regular viewers, you know, usually I have James doing that, but I don't think he's in the office today, so it's all good. We press on. I was talking a little bit about the indices. Like I said, I think like long term, sure, you might get decent value on stocks here. Like if you're buying for the next 5 years, but in the short term, stocks look troubled, right? I really don't necessarily love the idea of a short term buy anytime soon, at least for now. We'll see if we get some explosive moves, we get some really great earnings or something like that. Things might change, but currently a little bit sketchy there. Euro USD, yeah, let's keep an eye on it. So, like I said, if price is able to break through the 61.8%, I'll take a loss on this trade, and that will be a $1,000 loss should that not work out. So we'll keep tabs on it. Nick, how long did it take you to become profitable? Abhishek asks. It took me about 2 years to sort of like get to the point where I learned like enough to get to a point where I was like break even, and then like 2.5 to 3 years where I started becoming like profitable. Um, Now, what I always like to say when it comes to being profitable, quote unquote, this is what a lot of new traders think. And this is, I'm not shaming people. This is what new traders think being profitable. Okay, so this is your over time, right? And this is your gains. Okay, so dollar sign for gains. What new traders think profitable trading looks like, they think it looks like this. They think it's like just professional traders are just skyrocketing in gains. And in just a few years, they can make millions, right? That's that's the expectation. And I know you guys have heard it's not a get rich quick scheme, but what I genuinely mean is that professional trading looks like this. It's very slow exponential gains, if that makes sense. Like profitable trading does not look like this. Like when you're good at trading, quote unquote, you're not good at calling the markets all the time. That's what people think. They think you're like a magician and you know what the market's going to do next. Like I don't know what's going to happen next with the euro. I think we have enough stacked odds here to make an educated guess to go down, but I don't know. And I don't think that any professional trader necessarily knows for certain. They just have educated guess. They manage their risk properly, etc. But most traders think like when they're going to get profitable, they think they're going to be able to turn like 1,000 into 10,000 and do it over and over and over. Whereas professional traders, they may take 100,000 and turn it into 1,000,000 over the course of like 10 years, 5 years, 5 to 10 years, right? It's not it's not a way to print money quickly in the markets. The reason I talk about this so often is because it's a false hope that a lot of new traders get themselves into. They're like, as soon as I figure out, as soon as I unlock the secrets to becoming profitable, I'm going to be, my options are limitless. I'll be so rich. Whereas reality is you need money to make money. So you need to either get funded or save up capital or do something like we just got done talking about super funded. Find a prop firm that works for you, whether it's super funded or something else. Prop firms allow you to gain access to some potential capital once you have the skills, right? So I'm trying to talk some game. We've done a little bit of market analysis, but the theory here to actually becoming, if you someday see yourself wanting to trade for a living, making a sizable amount of money from your trading, from your investing, if that is your goal, which I would imagine it's most of our goals, right? Then what you have to sort of understand is that this is a long-term plan. You might need to work your job for 5 more years to save up capital in order to trade for a living someday, right? Maybe 10 years. It depends on your situations. If you have kids and lots of responsibilities, maybe 10, 15 years. But if you keep on the path, if you keep learning, eventually it is possible. So yeah, just my rant. If that was did hopefully what I just said made sense and you're on board. If you're on board with what I just said, if you agreed with what I just said, do me a favor, do two things for me. Hit yes in the chat, just type yes in the chat if that made sense, my little rant about how to truly become full-time trader. And then also do me a second favor, hit the thumbs up button on the stream. Help us out. support the content. It really does help if you just drop a quick like on the stream. What it does is it tells YouTube that our content here is worth watching for people who are interested in trading. And I would really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button, spam that like button, guys. We've got like 300 people in here and there's 18 likes on the stream. Unless I'm reading that wrong, but do me a favor, throw that like button to the moon really quick. It would really be so awesome to us. So thank you. Cool. Lots of yeses in the chat. Thank you guys for that. Cool. My stop loss on Euro USD is above the 61.8% retracement. Cool. You guys are the best. Thank you. I want to look at just a random chart, NASDAQ. This one's been on my mind here. Tech stocks, right? This one tends to do the best when the markets are up and the worst when things are down. This one has gotten absolutely crashed. So going back to my theory idea with the indices recently, if the indices go bullish again, I might pay attention to NASDAQ, but I need to see something first, right? I need to see some breakouts and I'll keep an eye on that. That's also going to be, something to pay attention to with the dollar trade. Can this dollar, if things are going to really flip, dollar really starts breaking to the downside, then we might get something on the long side with the indices. But currently, not super decisive on the dollar. Dollar still just sitting at support. We'll see if this can hold today. You're reading it wrong. Yeah, I think my thing just hadn't updated. It says 55 likes on my screen right now, so I must be looking at it wrong. But thank you guys. I'm sure some of you guys hit the like button, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much. 101. Okay, 101 likes. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. What charts you guys want? Comment them in the chat real quick for me. If we can do a couple more here. See if we can find something. I know someone mentioned GJ, and I'll look at GBP JPY here. So here's your 4-hour view of GJ. Look at this one, guys. Wow. GJ flying. Is this something that I would want to sell? No. Is this something I'd want to buy? No. Right? If you're a regular on the stream, then you know what we talk about over and over and over. A chart like this, we want to be long on, but we can't force a buy in this area, right? So even though I want to be long on this thing, the entry is gone. There's no entry here at this level. What structure am I using? What price action am I using up in this area? So I can't go long, but can I short this thing? No, I'm not going to short this thing because it's strong, right? This is a strong market right now. Look at what you're seeing on your screen. This is a chart that has strength in it. And guess what retail traders are doing with this? Guess what, retail traders? This market is strong, healthy uptrend, higher highs, market structure looks great. What are retail traders doing? I'll show you what they're doing. Let's go to retail sentiment. And by the way, what I'm looking at right now, this is available for free in the Edge Finder free version. If you don't have the Edge Finder free version, grab it. We're going to drop the link in the chat one more time. We dropped it earlier, but in case you missed the last one, grab this link. We're about to drop it. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to add the minor currency pairs, and I'll remove the majors just so we can look for GJ specifically. And I'm going to pull up GJ, blast it on the screen so everybody can see it so that we can get this point across. Look at what retail traders are doing with GJ. So again, chart's flying higher, bullish, strength, right? Looks like a market I'd love to be long on and trailing a stop on. And what are retail traders doing with it? 82% of retail traders short on GJ. Approximately 82%. That's one big bar, as Chandler put in the chat for me. That's a big bar, right? 82% of retail traders are selling this. And this, even if you're brand new to trading, this should make sense to you. Okay, this chart is going higher. It's trending up. And all the retail traders are selling it, saying this is too done, this is overdone, this is overdone, this is overdone, this is overdone, right? They're on the sell side of a great move. And this happens so frequently, guys, that's why we put it in the Edge Finder. We put this data in the Edge Finder because it's such a notable occurrence that happens in the markets. When markets trend, more often than not, you'll see that retail traders are on the wrong side of that trade. We talk about this very often on the channel. We talk about it very often with the Edge Finder. And like I just said, Chandler just dropped that link for you guys in the chat. If you want the Edge Finder for free, we have a free version and it includes exactly what I'm looking at. You can never buy anything from us and still use retail sentiment, 100% free. It's probably one of the best indicators on the Edge Finder. We just threw it out in the free version recently. So take advantage, grab it. Make sure to use it if you aren't already. We have a lot of people who are already using the retail sentiment tab in the free version. But if you're not, make sure to grab it. Devin says this channel rocks. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate that, man. So let's see. So what do we do with that? What's the idea behind, okay, well, they're all short. Well, if it retests a major level and we have confluence from the Edge Finder, that could be a great setup. Simple stuff. We know retail traders are all short, and this might be something to pay attention to, right? So swing low to swing high, 50% retracement. Of course, we'd have to check with the Edge Finder to make sure it has some sort of bullish bias, and then possible setup. But I like GJ long. So that would be my take on it. That would be my take on GJ. I can't buy it up here, can't sell it up here, but on a retest with that confluence that I just showed you guys from the Edge Finder, I like it. I like it on the long side. So yeah. Can you show the smart money tracker? Yeah, let's look at it. What's going on with the smart money tracker? We looked at it earlier. I want to look at pound. One red flag with the pound is that it's very heavily short by institutional money as well. Like let's do this. We'll do more big charts. You guys want some super big charts really quick? Let's look at yen only and GBP only. And there it is. So there is a slight preference for the pound over the yen, but it's not by much. And institutional money seems short on both. So I don't love that concept of the trade. Now, Smart Money Tracker is not available on the free version, but the retail version, retail sentiment is available on the free version. So make sure to grab that. So yeah, something to pay attention to. Guys, now we're going to pass the stream on. We have a guest who's going to take over here for me, Mr. Tom from Simply Forex. Let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom, how's it going?
Hi, Nick. I'm good. Thanks, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Good to have you back on the show.
Yeah, and, good to be back.
Yeah, and a good day to have you on because markets are really moving. You got yen pairs going crazy, and Canadian news just dropped. So we've got lots of stuff, I'm sure, to hear from you. And I'm excited to have you back on.
Yeah, cheers, Nick. Yeah, how weak is the yen at the moment, and how far can it go?
Seriously, right? I mean, here's a JXY, just the overall index for the Japanese yen. You can see it's just absolutely selling off like crazy. So it will be a question. It's like the limbo. How low can you go kind of thing. So we'll watch the yen, and I'm sure you've got some good commentary for us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to back out of the stream. I'm going to give you the floor for a little bit. But before I do, I just want to remind people, make sure to go check out Simply Forex. Check out Tom's channel. He's got some great content over there. And in the chat, we're going to drop a link for people to go do that so they can go subscribe and check out for themselves what you've got to offer. So Tom, have a great stream, man. Thank you for coming on.
Cheers, Nick. Thank you, mate. Cheers. Okay, good evening, guys. How are you? I hope, not good evening, good morning, well, good afternoon, wherever you are. How are you guys? I hope you're all well. So yeah, like Nick said, we've been looking at a bit of crazy CAD weakness. Those GDP figures were worse than expected. So let's have a quick look. Okay, so yeah, we're seeing a bit of weakness. This is US dollar, Canadian dollar, Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. I'm actually in this trade long. Euro, Canadian dollar. Okay, so yeah, lots of Canadian weakness, guys, on the back of that GDP. Worse than expected, minus 0.1. And the yen pairs, guys, how weak are they? They are weaker than Bambi. Couldn't think of anyone weaker. But yeah, look at these yen pairs, guys, just super weak. If we look at the day chart, Yeah, I really like this position for Aussie dollar, US dollar. We were looking at buys from this area, the bottom of the channel. You know, we expect price to get back up to here. But yeah, super weakness in the yen. How long will it continue for? Well, we'll have to let the charts tell us, guys. All right. But yeah, I'm just going to keep following that momentum upwards while we can. And guys, yeah, my name's Tom. I'm from Simply Forex. Check out my channel and I am all yours for the next 30, 40 minutes or so, guys. So get all of your questions over to me. Right, let's look at a couple then. So what do we want to look at? Okay, so a few people want to look at Euro US dollar. All right, so let's take a look at that first of all. Where are you, Euro US dollar? There you are. Okay, so Euro US dollar. Let me remove this line. Yeah, so Euro US dollar, we're clearly in a downtrend with Euro US dollar, guys. First and foremost, it's always important to look at the trend. Yeah, and the trend is down. Okay, it is in a downtrend, but we have found some support at this level here. Okay, so, and we had quite a bullish reaction. Yeah, if we zoom into this candle, we've had quite a bullish reaction, you know, at this grey zone. So potentially, you know, there's enough momentum to take it up to this grey zone and potentially these lows here. So that's what I'm seeing on Euro US dollar. So that's the day chart. Let's take a look at the H4 as well. Some of you may know me, some of you don't, guys, but I like to do a top-down approach. So I like to look at the weekly chart, the daily, the H4, the H1, even the M15 for some of my entries, guys, because every time frame gives me a little bit more information to make the best decision I can. All right, so what are we seeing here? Well, I really like the fact that we have, you know, potentially had a H4 trend break. Okay, so, you know, we can clearly see we was in a H4 downtrend. We was thinking price may react and come down lower. Yeah, that would have been a reasonable idea if we didn't have such a bullish daily candle. But we did, and now because of this candle, guys, yeah, we've had a break of these last highs here. So structurally, on the H4, we're in an uptrend. And we've got a super duper bullish green candle. So like I say, guys, if I was to trade this right now, I'd be looking to buy it back up to this grey zone here. All right, so that's what I'd be looking for Euro US dollar. What were you thinking? I hope you were thinking the same. What else we got, guys? Let's take a look at Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. This is for Karunana Rafa. I apologize for the pronunciation, but let's have a look at Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. All right, there she is. So what are we seeing again, guys? Let's start with the weekly chart. All right, let's see what we're seeing on the weekly. So on the weekly, yeah, we're seeing bullish weekly candles and potentially a little bit more room up to this grey zone, potentially these highs and this low. All right, so that's what I'm seeing. Yeah, on the weekly chart, these candles are telling me buyers are still in control. However, we are clearly in a downtrend, and this could become a very good opportunity for shorts. Yeah, we just followed simple structure. We could take it back down to these lows. But I still think we have a bit more room to the upside. If we then drop down to the day chart, what are we seeing? Well, as we know, we are seeing a lot of Japanese weakness. You don't have to be Warren Buffett to see that there is Japanese yen weakness. But I did pinpoint this. Sorry, let me do that, guys. I did pinpoint this area a little while ago. This 101 level. Okay, so I think this could be an important level, guys. This 101. So again, we still have a little bit more room before we hit that blue line, blue target. Let's take a look at the H4. So yeah, this grey zone was interesting. Yeah, and once we've now had a a full break of this zone. So how could we trade it? Looking at this wick, yeah, potentially we have a bit of a retrace on our hands there. Where it will retrace to, that is the $1 million question. But we can look for clues, guys. So it could retrace back into this grey zone and then find, we need to see a bullish reaction. It could be a bullish candlestick pattern. It could be just a candle that tells me buyers are in control. All right, and then we could perhaps take price back up to this level. All right, so yeah, where will it retrace to? Let's drop down to the H1 chart for more information. Okay, so this area through here, yeah, we've got a bit of a area through here. So what was once resistance, yeah, bounced off. When it breaks and retests, it potentially becomes a good area of support, and we can start looking for buys. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this hourly candle does. Obviously, we've got another 52 minutes. See how quick my mathematics was there. We've got another 52 minutes, guys, to see, if this is a bullish enough candle for us to start looking to buy this pair again. All right, but yeah, only looking for any yen pair I'm looking to buy. US dollar yen, CAD yen, euro yen, pound yen. The yen is Bambi. Yeah, it is weak. Did Bambi grow up to be quite strong? And I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Right, what else are we looking at, guys? Okay, Alpha. Alpha, you are looking at US dollar Swiss franc. Well, I am glad you are looking at US dollar Swiss franc. This was a trade idea for me today. All right, so let's find it. Okay, I've just hit target, guys. All right, so yeah, this was a trade idea for me. Okay, so let me explain the trade that I was looking for in US dollar Swiss franc. And all I do, guys, to look for trades is, I keep it very simple and naked. Yeah, I'm not naked, the charts are. So we've got, support and resistance, market structure, and candlesticks. Yeah, that's all I look at, guys. Yeah, all the information I need is in those three things. And I also need a bit of room for the trade to move into. So let's start with the day chart. All right, so I was looking to short this pair. If I really zoom out, you can see my grey zone here. This is a weekly grey zone, and price has reacted historically at this level, and it reacted again here. All right, so that's, first of all, that's the support and resistance level I was looking at. And then, guys, at this level, we've had a very bearish candle fall. Yeah, this is a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern, yeah, at a very strong area of resistance. Yeah, so this gets us thinking we can look for shorts. And sure enough, that's what we're looking for. So I used the weekly chart and the daily chart to guide me, yeah, to give me, it basically, I asked myself, do I have a trade? Can I buy it? Can I sell it? If the answer is no, then I just stay out of the market. All right, but this was telling me, Tom, short this pair. Okay, so that's what I've been doing today. If we then drop down to the H1 chart, okay, because this is what I plot my grey zones on. So these grey zones here, guys, these are my potential entry zones. Okay, and as part of my channel, yeah, I give you these zones every single day. Not Saturday and Sunday, but every single day, guys, I give you these zones. I give you my trade ideas and my zones to trade from. So if you would like these every day, come join the channel. The link is in the live chat. All right, come join us. We would love to have you. All right, so yeah, this grey zone, as you can see, price reacted with this bearish candle here. All right. So I'm going to show you how exactly I enter a trade. All right. So what I want to see is, firstly, price come into my grey zone, which it did. Yeah. I then want to see a bearish reaction on the H1, which we get. Yeah. We get this bearish candle here. And I want to see a breakdown in M15 structure as well, guys. That's just an extra piece of confidence for me to take the trade. So if we drop down to the M15 now, this candle, these four here, that was that H1 candle. And once it broke these lows, yeah, because if you look at structure, guys, on the M15, yeah, these were the last lows on the M15. And this candle here broke those lows, okay? So I am looking for shorts, all right? But we've had quite a large move down. I've had quite a large move down. And then I'm just looking for a bit of a retrace. Yeah, what I tend to look for, guys, I'll tend to look for a, you know, potentially a fib level as well. All right. So once price retraces to this 0.5 area, I will enter the trade here. I'll put my stop above here. I'll enter here. And then my target, as you'll see on my channel, was 9351. Okay. And we have hit that target now. Okay, so yeah, I was looking for shorts for this pair all day, guys, and we've literally just hit target. And what I do, guys, when I hit target, I close 80% of my trade. Yeah, I close 80% of my trade, and then I let 20% run. Okay, yeah, because who knows? That could go down for another 3 years. Yeah, potentially. Probably won't, to be fair. But it could, you know, so at least I leave some money on the trade. And then what I do, guys, is just follow structure down. Okay, so let's imagine we're on the M15 chart. If we get something like this, yeah, I will just take my stop here, which is now 20%, and I will trail it down accordingly. All right, guys, so a couple of techniques you can use in the market. Right, let's get another question. Before we do, let me have a drink of vodka. A very important part of trading. I'm only joking. Don't drink and trade. You'll spill it. All right, what else are we looking at? Philip Sethole, you would like to look at pound Japanese yen. Okay, pound Japanese yen. Like, the answer's probably going to be the same. Let's buy it. Yeah, because all the yen pairs, well, the yen is so weak, guys. Japanese yen, let's take a look for Philip. Let's take a look and see what we're looking at. So, day chart. Okay, so yeah, the question is will it retrace? And how far can it go? So potentially, guys, yeah, let's move this gray zone across as well. And also this gray zone. This is an important area. Okay, let's start with a weekly chart, guys. Let's get a bigger picture of this. So for me, yeah, let's remove this. This is a humongous gray zone, but it was a huge gray zone, guys, because of this last area here. Okay, but what are we seeing? So we was looking at a weekly downtrend once we broke these lows, but then price didn't make lower lows. Yeah, this is always a red flag, guys. And instead, this last high here has been broken. Yeah, so potentially we're in a, well, not potentially, we are in an uptrend on the weekly chart. Okay. So I just wanted to clarify that. On the day chart, as we know, yeah, you don't have to be Warren Buffett to see that is in an uptrend. So, yeah, it's a tricky one, guys, because price could just carry on up to here, yeah? But you would expect at some point we are going to have a retrace, all right? And if price... Let's see what the daily candle. So this is the daily candle. And if this daily candle ends up having a bit of a wick on this candle, yeah, and reacts at these last lows, yeah, then potentially, only if this happens, guys, yeah, if we get a wick on this candle, it closes back in this gray zone, then potentially, yeah, we have a bit of room. Yeah, if it closes back in this grey zone, I think we have a bit of room down to here before we start, you know, taking longs again. Okay. Rarely will price just keep going up. Yeah, it needs to retrace. Okay, it reverts back to the mean. So that's what I'm seeing with pound yen. Let's have a look at the H4 for more clues. I mean, it's difficult for me to buy this. It's so overbought. Yeah, look at the moving average 20. Price is up here. For me to start buying this, I have to have a retrace. Okay, if we get back down to this level here, I know Nick pointed this out as well. If we get back to this level here, yeah, and we get a bit of a bullish reaction, yeah, I'm willing to take price back up to here. But for me to enter here, guys, there's just no value. Yeah, none whatsoever. So I need a retrace, yeah, and then we can start buying this pair again. All right, but yeah, we need to wait for a retrace, guys. Okay, but yeah, you know, I would not be shorting this. Yeah, that would be suicide. Okay, and I don't want to do that. Right, what else have we got here, guys? Let's have a look at some others. Okay, pound US dollar. A few people want to look at pound US dollar. Before I do, guys, if you enjoy my analysis and would like to receive it every day, then come join my channel. The link is in the live chat. Join my channel. I give you my trade ideas and where I'm actually taking the trade from. So pound US dollar, let's take a look. So yeah, the US dollar pairs have had a real bounce off of these resistance levels, support levels, sorry. So yeah, we're between a rock and a hard place here because this is potential resistance, yeah, and this is obviously support. So yeah, price has been finding some buyers at this level. Yeah, we've got buyers, buyers, buyers. Yeah, so price is not pushing down past this grey zone anytime soon. All right, and you know, and we had this very bullish candle. So we could have looked for buys off of this zone, but the problem is we didn't have a lot of room to move into. Yeah, so if I put a grey zone here, this will be a very clear, you know, it's a clear daily resistance level, but it's also a clear H4 resistance level. Yeah, if I drop down to the H4 chart now, yeah, you'll see it's at a very important H4, but not important, but at a H4 resistance level. So what do I want to see? Again, I can't help but think we're going to get a retrace from this level. Okay, so, you know, if you traded very short term, you could short this for a few pips. But if you're more of a long-term trader, potentially you could look for some buys higher. Yeah. So for shorts, yeah, I would want to see a breakdown in perhaps the M15 structure, and we can short this back down. Yeah, perhaps to like a 50 fib level. Or for longs, I would want to see a break of these highs, a retest, and then we can start taking price back up to these last highs over here. So it really depends how price reacts at this grey zone here. All right, so yeah, let's see what price does at this grey zone. Yeah, but yeah, could long or short this pair depending on what happens here. Right, we have somebody who has paid for a question. Papali Vlogs. I will look at German 30 for you. No problemo. Let's take a look. Not an indice I pay a lot of attention to be quite honest with you. So let's do this together. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, but let's look at it together. So like I say, guys, let's do a top-down approach. Yeah, I know the DAX is aggressive. Yeah, this could tear your face off. It moves very quickly. All right, so let's do this together. So I'm clearly seeing a support and resistance level through here. Yeah. Yeah, and if I move this to the left, it would carry on. All right. So we're definitely seeing that, guys. Yeah. We're seeing an area of support and resistance on the weekly chart. I know this is about 8 million pips, this grey zone, but it needs to be highlighted. Yeah, it is an important area. And then what have we seen on the weekly chart? Yeah, we have seen a break of this grey zone. Okay, and we're in an uptrend. Yeah, we got higher lows, higher highs. All right. So what would I want to see? Yeah, I would want to see a retest into this grey zone. Yeah, then perhaps also back to the moving average 20. And then I want to see a bullish reaction. And I think we can take price back up to these highs here. So that's what we're seeing on the weekly chart. Now, let's pop down to the daily chart. And what are we seeing? Okay. So did this low break this? Yeah, so for me, guys, I would be looking so it depends on your time frame and your view of the market. But for me, looking at this price action, we have had a box of indecision. Yeah, I talk about these a lot on my channel, guys. A box of indecision is basically when you've got buyers and sellers just hitting heads, just fighting. No one is winning. All right, no one's winning. Okay, until we see this red candle here. Once this red candle here breaks the lows of this box, then I think we potentially have room back down into this grey zone. Okay, and then once in this grey zone, I would start looking for buys. But again, I need the market to give me clues. I need to see a build up in structure, a very bullish candle. But for the time being, guys, because of this bearish candle, I think we have a bit of room to the downside. Okay. Let's back this up. Let's get more information before we do. Okay, let's look at the H4. Okay, scruffy. What are we seeing? So yeah, this is that low on the day chart. This is that low on the day chart that broke out of this box. Yeah, if you could imagine this was the box. Okay, and then we had this large move downwards. Okay, as it happens, yeah, we've also had a very large move upwards. So for me, price action is scruffy. And potentially we're getting higher lows, but we also have lower highs. So we could draw this. Okay, so we're kind of seeing this, guys. Yeah, we're seeing this versus this. So remember, guys, my view is to short this pair. All right. So what would I want to see? I would want to see a potential, price will probably do this for a little bit longer. And then I want to see a break out of this triangle. Okay. Once I get a break out of this triangle, I'm willing to take it back down into that gray zone. All right. So that's what I'm seeing. Okay. Let's drop down to the H1 chart, see if we've got any more clues. Okay, we are in a downtrend. Yeah, we're clearly in a downtrend on the H1, and we're getting quite a reaction as we speak. So if this candle potentially stayed as it was right now, I think we could look for shorts back down to these lows. Yeah, you won't be in the trade for a long time. It's a bit of an opportunistic trade, but look, people trade the shorter time frames. I do. So yeah, I think we could take price back down to this level, but I would close, take profit here. All right, because potentially this is going to happen. All right. So yeah, Papali, I hope that helps you with the DAX, my friend. Yeah, be careful trading the DAX. It is crazy. Right, what else do we want to look at? Okay, so lots of guys looking at the NASDAQ. Okay, let's have a look at the NASDAQ for you. Where are we? NASDAQ, where are you? Here we are. Okay, so again, guys, let's do a top-down approach together. Yeah, I suggest you do the same. Yeah, do the same. Always look at the higher time frames first. So weekly chart, what are we seeing? Let's zoom in. So, okay, so I think on the weekly chart, we are in an uptrend. Yeah, we didn't get lower lows. That's always a red flag. And then this last high has broken. Yeah, and price is coming down, to a potential area where we could start buying this pair again. Okay, so looking at the weekly chart, we're in an uptrend. Potentially we have room all the way back up to this level here. All right, so that's what I'm seeing in terms of structure and the weekly chart. Now let's look at the day chart. Okay, and this gray zone is a daily gray zone. I think we could probably include this now, yeah? Okay, and this is also an important gray zone through here. Let's just drag these along. So what am I looking for in a gray zone, guys? I just want to see where price has reacted historically. Price has reacted here, here, and here. Also reacted here. But then once this is broken and price comes back, yeah, then it's also a very good area to start looking for buys. However, on the day chart, we're in a downward structure. Yeah, we've broken these lows. So what do I want to see? I would want to see this happen on the day chart. Yeah, so price has broken this low. Then it's now using this area as potential resistance. So I want to see something like this at this gray zone and then a break. Yeah, a break of these highs and therefore a change in day structure. And I would look to take price back up to these last highs. That would be my first target. Usually I close 80% of my first target, and then I'll let 20% run up to those weekly levels that I spoke about. But yeah, I'm not willing to short this pair at the moment. But however, it could retrace a little bit further. Yeah, it could. But because of that weekly chart, I'm just interested in buys. So wherever it does retrace to, it could retrace down to here, guys. Then I just want to see a break in structure. Yeah, once we get this, I'm back in buying this pair. Okay, let's have a look at the H4, see if it gives us any more clues. So yeah, I mean, we're in a downtrend on the H4. So let's see where this downtrend wants to go on the H4. It might stop here, it might come lower. Okay, but let's see. All right. But yeah, like I say, if we get a bit of a potential build up and a break, I'm looking for buys. Okay, so I hope that helps with the NASDAQ. Yeah, I think potential buys. Yeah, this has become a level through here. Let's have a look at the H1 chart as well, because I know some of you guys trade the lower time frame. So, okay, H1 is scruffy price action. Yeah, we've got lower low, and then we got bang, we got a higher high. So price doesn't really know what to do with itself here. Yeah, you might see a bit of indecision continue. Yeah, and wait for a break either side. Okay, and then we can start trading this as well. All right, guys. So yeah, that is the NASDAQ. What else are you looking at, guys? Euro. Let's have a look at. Okay, Vincent, Euro Yen, is it ready to sell? That is the $1 million question, my friend. Yeah, is the yen ready for a retrace? Any of the yen pairs? Okay. So, yeah, again, yeah, this blue line here was part of a target that I had. Okay, guys. So, it is at a very overbought level. Yeah, so there's a few things to consider. This is the day chart. Yeah, it's very overbought. Look at the moving average 20 and look how far price is away. Yeah, I don't need oscillators to tell me that. I can see the price is heavily overbought. And we're at a very interesting level of potential resistance. All right. Is it ready to short? Looking at this day candle, obviously this day candle hasn't finished yet. The answer is no. Okay, but let's get more information. Yeah, let's look at the H4 chart. Again, the H4 chart doesn't really look like it's slowing down. Yeah. So what am I looking for, guys, in terms of seeing the market slow down? So look at I'm looking for candles to start contracting. So look at this candle, then this candle. The candles are potentially getting smaller. All right. So contraction of candles tells me buyers are slowing down. Okay. So I want to see this happen. So let's see what happens on the H4. And if we drop down to one of the lower time frames, this is the H1. So at least, yeah, for me to start shorting this pair, at least I want to see is a breakdown on the H1. Yeah, currently, yeah, we are in an uptrend. Okay. So for me to start shorting this, I would want to see H1 structure look something like this. Once we get a break of a low, we can then start shorting this pair. Because I do think there's an opportunity to the downside because it's so overbought. But the very least, I want to see a breakdown in H1 structure. I am not willing to just short this now. That would be absolute suicide. A bit more vodka, guys, helps me. Yeah, I would not short this now, regardless of how bearish the candle is. Yeah, H4, H1, I need to see a breakdown in H1 structure. If we get that, yeah, we can start looking for potential shorts, guys. But without that, yeah, price could just keep coming up. Who knows? Okay, we need to see a break of structure. All right, so I hope that helps you with Euro Yen. So in my view, Euro Yen is not ready to sell yet. Wait for at least a breakdown in H1 structure. Papa Lee, where can we follow you? So guys, my channel is called Simply Forex. You can see it in the top right-hand corner of my charts. But there's also a link in the live chat, guys. So click on my link and you can join my channel. We would love to have you. Yeah, come join us, guys. Right, what else are we looking at? Okay, let's have a look at US dollar 30. So Bishop, US dollar 30, and Hussein. You would both like to look at the US dollar 30. All right, so, okay, so what is the Dow Jones doing? All right, so again, guys, I recommend you do the same. Have a look at the lower, have a look at all the time frames. Start with a weekly, daily, H4, H1. I am even an intraday trader, guys, and I still look at all of these time frames. Yeah. So what are we seeing here? I'm going to remove these gray zones. Let's do this together as one big happy family. All right. So there is clear support here. All right. And that's where price is at. If I draw this to the left, yeah, you can see historically price has reacted here, yeah, as well on the weekly. Okay. So this gray zone is important. Currently, yeah, I would say we are in an uptrend. Yeah. Yeah. If this low is broken, yeah, we're in a downtrend. Start shorting it. But if this low holds, yeah, we can start looking to take price back up to this level here. All right. So that's what I'm seeing on the weekly chart. If we then drop down to the day chart, what are we seeing? So, yeah, it's all about this gray zone, guys. Yeah. If we start seeing, yeah, if we get a bullish reaction in terms of a bullish daily candle or a bullish candlestick pattern on the day chart, then I think potentially we can start looking for longs back up to these highs. Okay, if we get a bullish candle come out of this gray zone. But if we just excuse me, if we just look at these candles now, none of these candles in here tell me I can buy this. Yeah, I place a lot of emphasis on reading candles, guys. And all these candles are telling me is sellers, sellers, sellers. There are no buyers here. Okay, so I need to see a big buyer. Yeah, not physically see a big buyer, but a big, you know, candle, big green candle. And then we could potentially start looking for buys. If we get a break of these last weekly lows, bear in mind this is a weekly low, guys. If we get a daily candle that breaks this, I'm then looking for a retrace, and then we can start coming lower, guys. All right, so it's all about this gray zone. What we can do to be a bit more aggressive with the trade is this. Yeah, we can drop down to the lower time frames. All right, so the lower time frames, this is the H4, and we are still in a downtrend on the H4. Okay, but yeah, what we could do if we don't get a lower low, yeah, if we don't get a lower low and then price starts to build up, yeah, and we get a break of this last high, then also I would consider buying this pair. Okay, this break of structure, I would look to take price back up to this, you know, those daily highs. But bear in mind, guys, that the lower the time frame, the more aggressive the trade. So this is on the H4. Yeah, if I saw this structure break, yeah, here, I would get in. Okay. All right. But now imagine it on the H1 chart. Yeah. We had this structure break here. Yeah. We had this structure break. Yeah. As soon as this high here was broken, we had a structure break. But price has come shooting back down again. We also potentially had a break here, but price wanted to come back down. So the H1 would have been very misleading. Yeah, because it's a lower time frame. Yeah, whereas the H4 is still following structure down. So for me, yeah, H4 structure break would be enough for me to start buying this pair. All right, but remember, we get a break of this gray zone. Yeah, we get a break of these lows over here. Yeah, I'm looking for shorts, but I think because it's weekly support, we are going to see a bit of a push off up of this level, potentially back to this level here would be a good target. Okay, so yes, that is the Dow Jones, guys. Right, what else are we looking at? Kellen Tong, you would like to look at New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. Okay, and how do you identify the breakdown at H1? Okay. Okay, I'm going to do the last two very quickly. All right, so New Zealand US dollar. Let's take a quick look at that. And then after that, Neelam, I will answer your question. So New Zealand US dollar. Okay, let's start with the weekly chart. Because again, guys, yeah, there's an area through here. Okay, there's a potential area through here, which I highlighted with this blue line. This blue line was a potential target. Okay, but we are in a downtrend. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, we are, yeah, after this low here was broken, yeah, we are in a downtrend. We didn't make higher highs. We broke this low. So we are in a downtrend. Okay, however, I do see a bit of potential support here. All right, but if you look at this weekly candle, that would tell us to short this further. Okay, if we look at the day chart now, yeah, we have had a bit of a reaction at these lows. Sorry, guys, I've been drinking. It doesn't, I haven't really, but it doesn't help with zooming in and out. And we've had a bit of a reaction in this gray zone. Look at this bullish candle. So what would I be looking for? We're finding some buyers here. Yeah, look at these wicks. Look at these wicks down here, guys. So I think we're going to get buyers back up to potentially this grey zone, yeah, which corresponds with these last lows. And then we want to see sellers enter the market again, and then we can push this back down lower. Okay, so that's what I would be looking for on the higher time frames. If you're an intraday trader, let's look at the H4. So again, this last high is holding so far. Yeah, I would want to see. So it's interesting. It's not making lower lows. So this tells us there could be a slowdown in the trend, or the trend is about to change. And then if we got a break of this level, I think we could get a retrace, trade it back up to this grey zone. Yeah, there's not much room to move into there, but that's what I would need to see. Okay. Yeah, break in this structure. Okay. Break up to here, then look for a breakdown in structure again, back down to here. Okay. Because of this, this level here, because of the bullishness of this H4 candle and the fact that the market hasn't made lower lows, I would not short at this level. I would not short at this level. Yeah, for those reasons. Yeah, I want to see price come back up to here. All right, so keep an eye out for that and let's see. So that's what I'm seeing on New Zealand US dollar. I hope that helps, Kellen. And then Neelam, you were talking about H1. So structure doesn't you can use fib levels to help you find entries, but structure is simply this. Let me find an example. Okay, so this would be a good example. All right, so with H1 structure, yeah, so H1 is in an uptrend. Yeah, this is how I trade according to H1 structure. Yeah, I use this, quite a powerful tool, guys. Yeah, and then finally, yeah, it's come up into our grey zone. So we're in our grey zone, and now I'm looking for H1 structure to break down. What am I looking for? So first of all, I'm looking for the market not to make higher highs. Yeah, that's my first red flag that structure could be breaking down. Yeah, we don't get a higher high. Then I want to see a break of this low. Yeah, because this was the last H1 low. Yeah, and then we get the break. Yeah. Yeah, I usually look for a retest. We get a beautiful retest, and then I'm looking to enter here, guys. Yeah, I've got my structure break. I'm with the H1 trend. Let's try and, bring it down. Obviously, this would be news related, guys. This would be news related, but, you get the idea. Yeah, no higher highs. Break this low, retrace. Let's get in lower. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for, guys, once price reaches a grey zone. If you want to be super aggressive, you could trade a M15 structure breakdown, but yeah, H1 is the one for me. Right, guys, that brings us to the end of my analysis. If you've enjoyed it, then come join us. Yeah, come join Simply Forex, guys. My name's Tom. The channel is Simply Forex. The link is in the live chat, so click on it now. And join the channel, guys. I'm here every Tuesday. I'll be back next week as well. I look forward to seeing you again. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. Happy trading for the rest of the week. See you later.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And if you're looking to get funded, check out Superfunded's examination today and get 10% off when you use the code A1 Trading. Click the link in the description below to find out more. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.